Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another top 10 tips for Kendo users. This time the tips I'll be giving will be advanced tips, so some of these are likely tips you've never tried or seen before, and that can help you compete against odd metal builds. Very quickly, I want to say thank you guys for helping me reach 2.5k subs. Unironically, it means a lot for me, so every 500 subs I'll be doing a giveaway that'll range from essences to expensive loot. So the link is in the description. I put my Discord there, and you can apply to the giveaways. You don't have to do any message requirements or nothing like that. Just be in the Discord, and that's all you got to do. Now for our first tip, we're going to be going over build making. When you want to enter the realm of being an advanced Kendo player, you want to think about the synergy you can develop with your element and weapon. For example, I use Vamp because it gives me access to large AoE moves to help me fight multiple people, as well as healing to help sustain longer in a gank. Vamp also helps me build opponent's posture up to a degree where my mortal ties or even split gate to guard break. To summarize it all together, you want to find an element that can either give easy access to high damaging combos or help improve what Kendo lacks in their kit, such as AoE moves and dealing more posture. Next up for our second tip, we have counter baiting. If you notice by now, a lot of people's builds typically consist of at least one counter, and since Kendo is full of moves that has a reactable windup, you'll want to purposely bait out their counter. You can easily do this by either curving and weaving your flower passage or intentionally missing your Sero. Now on to tip number 3 is delayed crossings cross up. Delayed crossings is a very useful purpose in being able to backstab your opponent by leaping over your opponents with the move. This works because delayed crossings has a large enough hitbox to hit enemies behind you once you go through the animation for the move. This makes it so your delayed crossings is unblockable and forces the enemy to either parry or dash at the perfect time. Next, for our fourth tip, we have the Arankar Manasama combo extension. Typically when using Manasama in a sheath crit, you can follow up after the ragdoll with something like mortal ties. However, one thing you can do to combo extend easier is by intentionally turning around near the end of the barrage of slashes to do a move on your opponent. This technique does require you to be at the right distance because if you're too close, then the opponent will be hit by the barrage anyway. Once you perform this correctly, you can catch your opponents off guard by using another move as they're expecting to be ragdolled. Typically, I like using a Sero grab, but will typically only work once since the Sero grab isn't true after doing the technique. Next up for our fifth tip, we have Crescent Relief stacking. Since Crescent Relief lingers far longer than the end lag for the move, you can stack a move like Flowing Petals or a Sero to keep up the pressure on your opponent so you don't allow Crescent Relief to give them space to breathe. Now for number 6, we have Flowing Petals Fainting. I think you and many others can agree that the second slash for Flowing Petals is a very easy move to parry. Not only is it very easy to parry, but if you get parried, the parry stun lasts so long that a Rising Swallow or any move quick enough is true to punish you. The best way to put this move to use instead is to use it as a way to bait out their parry and get close so you can attack while their parry is on cooldown. Number 7 is to memorize end lag and parry stun. As I mentioned before, some moves like Flowing Petals suffers from a significant amount of parry stun that can allow you to start combos. That's why when you fight certain skill trees, you should pay attention and memorize what moves have enough end lag or parry stun to make your counter attack true after it. Now for number 8, we have 180 flower passage. To perform a 180 flower passage, you first need to land the first part of the dash to then intentionally go through with the second part of flower passage, meaning you don't feint the slashes. Then you must quickly turn your camera 180 degrees to miss the first slash, then quickly turn back 180 degrees to hit the second slash. This is an incredibly strong mix-up tool since everyone's first instinct is to parry the first slash of flower passage with relative ease. Once you perform the tech correctly, their parry frames will be unavailable for you to attempt to follow up with a guard break like vertical down or Sonata flow. Next for tip number 9 is to abuse Sonata flow true combos. When you land a Sonata flow, you get out of the end lag slightly sooner than your opponent gets out of the stun for Sonata flow. As I learned fighting a Shark Kendo user, this allows an extremely low startup move like Cascada to be true after landing Sonata flow. So any move with extremely fast startup can be true after landing a Sonata flow. Finally, for our last tip will be curving eviscerate. Eviscerate on its own can be somewhat easy to parry, however by quickly curving your eviscerate around and guiding it toward your opponent, this can make it significantly easier to deal posture damage rather than getting parried. Of course, curving your eviscerate will shorten its reach, but if you're at a good distance and you practice your curving eviscerate to be slightly off their parry timing, you can cause your eviscerate to catch people off guard. Anyways, that's all I got for the top 10 advanced tips for Kendo. Remember, as of releasing this video, there's about 19 hours left to enter the giveaways I have set for my 2.5k giveaway, so be sure to join the Discord for that. I also ask to subscribe and hit the bell and help me reach 3k subs so I can do another large giveaway. Let me know what you guys think of my tips, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.